What the hell is going on at DC? We need to talk about this. There's been a lot of confusion recently at DC about what is and isn't going to be continuing moving forward after the DCU reset. And as more time goes on, it's only gotten more complicated. In this video, we're going to be talking about the complicated future that DC might have in store. So hit like on the video, subscribe for more, and let's get into this. Now, majority of the confusion in DC's future is coming from The Flash, meaning what is going to be staying afterwards and what was erased. And as more time has gone on from that release, we only have more questions. Originally, we thought this was a pretty cut and dry answer. The DC universe was going to be erased, the Snyderverse was going to be gone, and the DCU would take over from where the DCEU once stood.
Come on, man.
However, now we're getting more information. Apparently, according to James Gunn, Ezra Miller might not actually be done as the Flash.
What? 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 What?
Yeah, I know. Dude can get arrested for multiple crimes and still has a career. Okay. What makes even less sense is the fact that, spoiler alert I guess, for a movie that did incredibly poorly, at the end of that film, he ends up in the George Clooney universe, which technically is actually the Michael Keaton universe. Fight me in the comments about that, I dare you. But in that universe, Jason Momoa is still Aquaman. So, okay, that's fine. I guess only Batman changed, so who cares, I guess? Let's just keep moving forward. From that, the problems you run into are Blue Beetle and Aquaman 2, considering James Gunn, in the hype-up for Blue Beetle, said that Blue Beetle is going to be the first DC Universe character.
I mean, the first DCU character for sure is Blue Beetle, and the first full DCU movie is Superman.
Which makes absolutely no sense. But the problems are this. Let's say Blue Beetle comes out and it does well. Okay, fine. The next movie coming out after that is Aquaman 2, which now, since it's the same actor in both universes, we have no idea if it's going to be in the Clooneyverse, or if it's going to be in the Snyderverse, or if it's going to be in the DCU. Considering there's rumors that Jason Momoa might be out as Aquaman after this, and in as Lobo. So you already have some brand confusion going on there, considering you have no idea what threads are actually intertwining in the future. And don't even get me started about the complicated production of Aquaman 2. I mean, there was all the Amber Heard stuff, which everybody already knows about, but apparently, Michael Keaton's Batman was supposed to be in this film, and then they changed the end of The Flash. Then it was going to be Ben Affleck in the film. Then they changed Ben Affleck. Now, apparently, everything's been cut, and there is no Batman anymore. Which only leads to more confusion, considering having a Batman in there would tell you which universe you're in. Not anymore. It's all speculation now. But there's even more problems from there. Because okay, that's just one character. I mean, we don't know if the Flash is coming back, so we could say two, but let's just be level-headed and say one. But now, this article came out. Now we get this, saying apparently Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman 3 is in development. Which is weird considering they already announced that Patty Jenkins was leaving the project and they were scrapping the entire thing. But apparently, it might still be coming out. What the hell? Okay, so literally at this point, the only two characters that they're actually getting rid of are the two most popular characters that DC has. That being Batman and Superman. Smart move. Nice. I'm not exactly convinced that it is going to be Wonder Woman 3. Because it makes absolutely no sense for them to make another Wonder Woman movie considering how bad Wonder Woman 84 was. So you mean to tell me they're actually going to be making a follow-up to that flaming pile of garbage? The only bright side is, Patty Jenkins is gone. Because let's be honest here, with Zack Snyder producing the first film, it was amazing. I loved it. Hands down, one of my favorite DCEU films. However, when the unbridled rage of Patty Jenkins is able to go on full display with writing and directing credits, you get a terrible disaster of a film. I shut that shit down 3/4 of the way through, never finished it. It's so bad. But apparently we might be getting a sequel. Editing Alex cutting in to say there have been even more developments since I originally started recording this video. At this point, it's August 11th, so this video will be posting tomorrow. And as of now, it looks like the whole Gal Gadot thing was a lie. The question is, who was lying. There is real video of Gal Gadot saying that she met with James Gunn and Peter Safran about Wonder Woman 3. There have been quotes attributed to her saying that they're absolutely wanting to move forward with her and that she, quote, has nothing to worry about. Unlike a couple other heroes that might be a little more popular that I've talked about in this video. However, it's now being reported none of those talks happened.
What? What the fuck?
Okay, so a couple scenarios. Either that conversation did happen, James Gunn did promise that Wonder Woman 3 was happening with Gal Gadot, and she went out and told us all that that is actually happening, which is the truth. Scenario number 2, that conversation did happen and James Gunn was actually just lying to her face just to make her happy and get her the hell out of the room, and had absolutely no intention of following through with that. Or, also likely, scenario 3, she just made it up. At the time of recording, her brand new Netflix movie is bombing review-wise. Plus, besides Wonder Woman, what else can you really say that she's been in? I mean, Fast and Furious, I suppose? And Wreck-It Ralph 2. Besides that, all I can think of is Red Notice. You think of anything else? I didn't think so. So honestly, one of the scenarios that's going out there that really would make more sense is that maybe she was just making a fake announcement to try to generate hype and to try to build a fan campaign to try to have DC keep her in the universe. I mean, think about the Snyder Cut. Maybe she was trying to take the momentum of what happened with the Snyder Cut and reinvigorate that to try to keep her in the universe. What do I know? I'm just a YouTuber. Anyways, let's get back to the video. Now, to me, I'm hoping it's just going to be a reboot. Because could you imagine going into a movie theater, looking forward to Henry Cavill coming back as Superman, possibly Ben Affleck coming back as Batman, just to see those hopes dashed away, and now you're just getting Jason Momoa coming back for the most subpar sequel of all time. I'm going to call it now. It's not going to do great. Get known criminal Ezra Miller, apparently coming back as the Flash, maybe, and Wonder Woman, who had an amazing first movie and one of the worst drop-offs of all time. That is a recipe for disappointment right there. But hold on just a minute, kiddos. It's gonna get worse. Since James Gunn said that Blue Beetle is the first DCU character, but not the first DCU film, it's had a lot of people wondering. Apparently, the rumor is now that if Blue Beetle underperforms, they will just recast and change the character, or completely bench the character for a while. Which, let's be completely honest here, is absolutely going to happen, considering this film is tracking to have the worst opening weekend box office in DC history. Which is saying something, considering the last 2 DC films flopped insanely hard. So I feel like him going into this film in the first place, saying that it's going to be the first DCU character, which is already being contradicted by the fact that apparently Wonder Woman might be returning, and The Flash might be returning, and the next film is Aquaman, which is a sequel to a Snyderverse character. You're just shooting yourself in the foot, man. Why? Why would you say all of this? Why not just let it happen and come out naturally? Instead, you're going to try to get ahead of everything and look like an idiot. Which, trust me, I know how that feels. I mean, realistically, let's say that the DCU actually does start with Blue Beetle. Now you're going to have a character that has absolutely no ties to any other superheroes that we know of at this point, coming out with barely any brand recognition, tracking with the lowest possible DC box office of all time. Why should people care? You're going to choose this to be the jumping off point of your universe, and I know that Superman Legacy is supposed to be the start, but then why say the first DCU character is Blue Beetle? Doesn't make sense, does it? You're just going to be sending out mixed messages and people aren't going to be interested in going forward. I mean, honestly, it's coming off like he's just making this up as he goes along, which, to be fair, a lot of us do. We just start and see where things go. However, if they're actually going to be trying to catch up with Marvel, or even surpass them in the future, they need a concrete plan, like Marvel originally did. Yes, Marvel did start off with just Iron Man, but they quickly built up plans for sequels, and other characters. And they had a game plan on when they were all going to converge. And we saw how that worked out with the first DC universe. So if their goal is to just go in and start winging it, they're going to fail. And they're going to fail hard. And don't even get me started on the fact that not only are we going to have one Batman in Batman Brave and the Bold, but we're also getting a sequel to Matt Reeves' Batman film. So we're gonna have 2 alternate Batmans, 1 Superman, a Blue Beetle, alternate Aquamans, different Flash, possibly the same Wonder Woman. You see what I'm talking about? Where there's some confusion with this universe already, and it hasn't even officially started. What do you think about this? Are you as confused about this universe as I am, or do you hope that they're just not connected and independent of each other like DC used to be in the 80s and 90s? Comment down below and let me know. Don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe for more. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.